Have you guys ever had a sloppy Joe? Like, like ground beef and like that barbecue-y sauce with like chunks of onions and stuff in it, and then like you think it's gonna thicken while you cook it, but then it doesn't. Then you put it on a sandwich on like the great value hamburger buns you get at Walmart, and you pick it up and you like go to put it in your mouth, and it just goes like blah, 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 and ends up like on your shirt, on the tablecloth, dripping down your mouth, all over your hands, and like it's just a general mess. That's how I would describe The Lost City. The Lost City was released in 2022. It was written by Oren Uziel and Dana Fox and Adam Nee and Aaron Nee, and directed by Aaron Nee and Adam Nee. No spoilers, but the general idea of the film is it's about this romance novelist and her cover model who get basically abducted by Daniel Radcliffe, who is trying to find the actual hidden lost city that is found in her book, which happens to be true and real. So adventures ensue, and both groups of people are trying to find the lost city before the other group, and that's the whole story. And like it's a compelling story. I'll give him that. I think it's an interesting story, and it works pretty well. I think it's nice that she's a romance novelist, but she doesn't want to be. She's a pretty tragic backstory about her husband. Channing Tatum is misunderstood here. He's just a cover model, but he thinks he's much more than that. He's not, but the movie really tries to tell you that. And like that's really the heart of the film, and there are a couple moments that feel heartfelt, and particularly there's this one towards the end with her husband that she kind of it has to do with her ring. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. And it's just this really, it was like the only movie that like felt heartfelt. There are other moments that tried to be heartfelt and failed miserably. Now, this movie primarily is a comedy. It is supposed to be very funny, and I did find it very funny. I watched it this morning at midnight, and it is very funny. I laughed the whole time, but not always for the right reasons. The comedy's good. Like, I like it. Brad Pitt's freaking hilarious. Daniel Radcliffe is funny. Channing Tatum's great. Sandra Bullock, I'm always kind of hit or miss on, and this is more of a miss for me in terms of what she is capable of. I don't think this is her best by any stretch of the imagination. But, like, there are moments that are really funny, and then they just drag it on for too long. Like, there's this wonderful moment when, there's a bunch of them, when, like, they think they murdered two people on motorcycles, and they talk about it for, like, 5 minutes. Now, the joke was funny for about a minute of that, and then I'm like, okay, like, you're getting to the stretch of, like, you're talking about it for too long. I no longer have interest in this conversation. It's no longer funny to me. And then it got funny because it was bad in the case that it didn't think about it. It was strange. It's funny, but again, not really for the right reasons all of the time. I will say that structurally, the characters are kind of messy. I like Channing Tatum's character, and I like Sandra Bullock's character. I think they're fun. I think they work pretty well together, but it is definitely not a match that I would have imagined. I read that Ryan Reynolds was originally supposed to do this, and I think that might have actually been better. But, and it's not Channing Tatum's fault by any stretch of the imagination. I like Channing Tatum a lot. I think he's a really funny guy, and one of my favorite comedians nowadays. But the chemistry with Sandra Bullock, while good, is not great. And it works very well in the beginning of the movie when he's trying to be the hero and try to save her. But then, like, that lasts about maybe half an hour. And then the other, like, hour of this film it just doesn't work for me. The second half of this film, like, they kind of, like, start falling in love, the average romantic comedy thing. And it just didn't work for me. I didn't believe it. I didn't buy it. Daniel Radcliffe had no love in this film. He has maybe, like, 10 minutes of screen time. And he's very funny when he's on the screen. Like, hilarious. One of my favorite parts of the movie is anytime Daniel is on screen. It's not a lot is the problem. And he's the main villain, and they just kind of forget about him. And a lot of times they, like, send goons, like, his goons. He's like, go get them, go get them, go get those people. And it's like, you should do it. Like, I know that for character purposes, he wouldn't do it because he's lazy and he doesn't want to actually participate in it. But, like, for like audience purposes, they should have just had him do the things that he's asking the goons to do, because then it gives Daniel Radcliffe more stuff to do, and then he can be more funny. Brad Pitt's got like 5 minutes of screen time, and it's very funny. He's very good in this film. Of course he is. He's hilarious. But like, I don't know, all these individual parts, there's a lot of individual parts that I really liked and I really enjoyed. It's just mixing it all together did not work. The ending was rushed. Oh, I forgot to mention, I think her name is Beth. The character Beth sucks. Awful. Anytime she's on screen, I was like, can you please stop talking? Like, I don't care that you're her manager or whatever. Like, I just bring me Daniel Radcliffe back. Like, I wish they cut her out of the film completely and just focused on Daniel Radcliffe. But I feel like they felt the need to push diversity into the film, which, like, yes, I think that there should be more diverse roles for people in the film, but then don't cast Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum. Make one of them a diverse cast. That's fine. But don't add a character for the sake of there being a diverse character. It doesn't work. And this is a very clear, like, showcase of that. I did not like that character. It was poorly written and just really boring. And Oscar from The Office shows up, and I just thought it was funny because he's Oscar from The Office. He's not actually funny in the movie, but it was funny to think of. But, like, it is entertaining. Like a sloppy Joe. You eat it, you're like, oh, this tastes delicious. It's a mess. It tastes delicious. So, like, I did have fun. I laughed pretty much the entire film, whether it was at the actual joke or at the badness of the movie. You know, I still laughed, and the adventure parts work pretty well, and I just wish that they kept some of the jokes shorter, cut out Beth entirely, and gave me more Daniel Radcliffe. I think this movie might have been more of a success, but I don't see this movie ever in my imagination becoming a great film. I have read some other critic reviews, and they seem to like it. I don't understand why they like it so much, but I think it's just a fine, mediocre, middle of the road movie. I'm gonna go ahead and give The Lost City a C+. Have you guys seen The Lost City? Let me know in the comments below what you guys thought about it. I know a lot of people liked it, and so maybe you guys did, and if you did, let me know why. I genuinely want to know, like, why you liked it. I'm curious. It's not that I hate the film. Like, I don't actively hate it. Do I want to watch it again? No, I probably won't. It's a fine movie for me. It's not my kind of style of comedy either, but that's okay. I think it's just a fine movie, so let me know what you guys think. And thank you guys so much for watching this video. I truly, truly appreciate it. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already. It helps you out a whole lot. It keeps the channel going, so I would truly appreciate it. And as always, keep watching movies and television, stay educated, and I'll see you guys in the next video.